Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Panda does anything here. And starting today, I will be hopefully doing a monthly showcase in my channel called Monthly Pandas Collection, where I would showcase all of the things I have been doing, reading, hearing, and watching in every month. And again, hopefully, I would do this at the end of every month or at the beginning of the month. And yes, I am indeed copying the Anime Man's monthly Otaku collection series. Please ignore that. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's start with the manga series I've been reading this month. Noragami is without a doubt one of my favorite manga series that has ever came out. In case you didn't know what Noragami is, it's essentially this stray homeless god called Yato who has no shrine and worshippers. So he takes any odd jobs for 5 yen, hoping that one day the 5 yen he had been saving would be enough for him to buy himself his first shrine and hopefully gain worshippers. In the Noragami world, there are a lot of gods just like Yato, but unlike Yato, the other gods are rich and worshipped all around the world. When a human dies in the human world, their spirit would wander. If a god finds the wandering spirit, then the spirit would become a weapon for the god and would be granted a name which is called a Shinki. Yato doesn't have a Shinki at first, but as we progress through the story, he would later on find his own Shinki named Yukine. The story seemed kinda basic at first, but believe me, it's gonna get better. The law behind Noragami's world is so interesting. The biggest question is, how did Yato able to exist? Later on, the manga explains that Yato has been existing for the past 2 to 300 years. But that doesn't make sense because if a god doesn't have any worshippers, the god would disappear. So is there worshippers of Yato? What happened in Yato's past? Why did Yato exist in the first place? What is the meaning of the world of Noragami? Now that is what I'd call captivating. There's also romance involved, so yeah. As much as I want to sell you guys to read the manga, it's almost impossible, man. And it's definitely better to just read the manga with no expectations whatsoever. I can't describe how good this manga is. Everything is good from the very beginning all the way to the very latest chapter. The manga is still airing as well, so yeah. Now, moving on to the other manga I finished reading, Ice. Now, Ice is hands down the greatest romance manga of all time, without a doubt in my mind. The story is so beautiful and amazing, man. Like, there are times where you get depressed and there are times when you feel extremely happy. I swear, after I read this manga, I legit, no joke, cried my eyes out. I can't stop crying after reading the last chapter because of how beautiful and great the manga was. Don't make fun of me. Ice explored the real meaning of love. It's so interesting because I have never read a romance manga that explored what Ice did. Love is not just about lust. Love is about dedication, faith, trust, sacrifices, and care. And that's what Ice taught me. It made me think and reflect on my life. I've never been in a relationship before because I'm just a kid, but even so, it made me think of my future relationship. People these days just want to have fun and be in a relationship just for the purpose of entertainment. You know, if that's how you want to share love to your partner, then go ahead, but that's not the real meaning of love, is it? Ice taught me that whatever happens, faith, trust, and dedication are what makes our relationship last forever. Watch the Anime Man's video on Ice. His video about Ice is way more in depth than this video, so I'll definitely recommend you watch his video on Ice. Chainsaw Man, one of the hottest and most popular manga that came out in recent times with the anime adaptation trailer that came out a month ago. I finished reading Chainsaw Man this month and I've got to admit, it's mada effing awesome. The art style is so unique and messy which adds characteristics to the manga. The story seems kinda basic, right? A guy who has chainsaws around his body and kills some living species, right? Basic? Well, that is the case, but that's not the only factor that Chainsaw Man has. You see, there are a lot of aspects when it comes to the world building of Chainsaw Man. Why is there a creature that has a shark for a head? Why is there a chainsaw on his arms? What? The law and story behind all of these things are very interesting. The main villain is also greatly written. I'm not saying who it is because it will spoil, but anyways, as much as I love Chainsaw Man, there are flaws to it. First of all, the hype behind Chainsaw Man is quite overrated. After I read Chainsaw Man, it felt underwhelming. Maybe because I was expecting the story to be on that Attack on Titan level of story writing. But I then realized that this is a shonen manga. This manga is aimed for teenagers, not for the Game of Thrones world breaking novel type of people. And I think it accomplished what the manga intended to do, which makes a lot of awesome, cool fights, and I am happy with that. The last manga that I read this month is One Punch Man. You already know what One Punch Man is all about, so there's no need to explain to you what One Punch Man is. To sum it all up, One Punch Man manga is good, the artwork is one of the best, and one of the most amazing that I've ever seen. Now, moving on to the anime I've watched. Detective is already dead. I cannot really say my opinion about this anime because I've only watched one episode of it, but because it's an anime I've watched, might as well put it in this month's monthly Pandas collection. To be honest, I think for me the anime is mid. I don't want to talk trash to this anime because the animation is insane and the anime has a lot of potential. The animation studio is ENGI, the same studio that made this hot trash. The animation in episode 1 is extremely good. I don't know how they animate it because it looked extremely realistic. Realistic, man, I can't speak. But yeah, I'm impressed. That's the only anime that I've watched this month. So yeah, moving on to the other stuff I have experienced this month. KSI's latest album, All Over the Place. The album is great. At first I was quite underwhelmed because I was expecting something world breaking, but then I came to realization that this album is not aimed for that. The album's purpose is to impress people about how versatile KSI is. The album is legit all over the place. He sings, he raps, he beat switch and a lot of stuff, so I'm impressed. Considering that KSI is a YouTuber, he actually did something that can solidify himself in YouTube history. The other thing that KSI did this month is the KSI show. Now, personally, I didn't watch the show because I don't have any money, but from what I've heard, the show was very disappointing and overrated. KSI apparently hyped the show to the extreme, and because of that, the fans were excited. But then, when the show was aired, the show was basic, nothing special in it. And I was also hyped about the show, but reading the comments and the criticisms, I also felt their disappointment as well. Then, the following day, KSI uploads a video called KSI Show Was Bad. In that video, he reads all of the criticisms and the disappointed comments from his Reddit. The majority of the comments are constructive criticisms, but there are some that are just pure hate. As KSI reads the comments, KSI slowly feels down because KSI spent over £2 million and 11 months of production on the show. His face looked very miserable because he disappointed all of his fans. He couldn't believe it. I saw him in pain and I felt it, man. It's so sad to see that one of my favorite YouTubers is down and in despair. I hope he bounce back and be better than this, man. Anyways, that's it for the first monthly Pandas collection. I hope I can do this again next month. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and I love my mom and my dad.